Do you want me to just psychoanalyze you?
You could. I mean, it's probably not going to be pretty.
I don't know. I think psychology is a
Can I ask you
pursuit.
a quick question before we delve into anything else?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be filming like this. Like, can you commit and like come down for different things? Are you willing to expand and do other things? Like, if I tell you to be a character, can you do it?
I'll commit to your mom like Fridays, midnight to 3 a.m.
I think she's booked with my stepdad.
Which one?
Exactly.
We'll get together and talk schedules. I'm just trying to wear hats, dude. That's all. Normally I'd be wearing flip-flops because of the weather, but can I be AC Slater and you be Zach Morris?
Sure.
I was an aroused 10-year-old at that point. Like, I'm not even hating on it. Bacteria have that urge, you know? Just some reactions are just those reactions. More like an octopus. Easy like a Sunday morning, for sure.
It's arousing, yet terrifying. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first segment of Comic Talk here at the world-famous Kansas City Improv. I'm your host, Brandon Stinson, and today, our guest is the preeminent Proust scholar of northern rural Kansas City, the one, the only, Jake Wright. Jake, how's it going today?
I'm good.
Good?
Yeah.
Just got a few questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, my question to you is, what's it feel like to be the first comic to be on our, little comic talk show?
I think life is meaningless, if that answers your question.
Okay. I guess everybody wants to know, why comedy? Why did you choose comedy?
You know how, like, if you ever just felt like a sore thumb and you wanted to, like, alleviate that tension? You know what I mean? I always found that flipping a situation into the realm of the absurd was like hitting a pressure release valve, and it just felt good. And, so I just kept doing that. And then as you get older, it becomes more like a person who's open about having a sense of humor. I think it becomes more unusual, and that's why people move toward the stage, maybe.
So would you say that you relieve stress or pressure when you perform?
It puts pressure on me, really. But after the show, it's a pressure relief. And up until the show, it gives you something to dread. And it gives you something to look forward to, which is something I like. It punctuates life, It's like doing a show, it's like a punctuation mark in the story of your life. It gives you a stop point or a start point. And then, the different seasons.
Who would you say that your inspiration was to do comedy?
What is that? It started young. Probably just TV and shit. And, dealing with hostile people in life, it's a good way to just kind of, like, short circuit, like, different evolutionary functions. When you take a situation and you take it out of that Darwinian necessity and you put it in the realm of just absurdity, I guess, which is a word that I might use a lot, but it's just a way to change life, I guess. So that's my inspiration, is just putting a polish on life that's more to my liking.
Do you have any specific, heroes that you would look up to?
I've been compared to people, but I try not to emulate, just because, when I hear an artist or see a comedian or something, I like to be surprised by what they do. And so if I feel like they're really just absorbing somebody else and then regurgitating it, it's not that they're not good, it's that I'm not surprised. And I like a little bit of surprise when it comes to entertainment.
Awesome. What would you say that your darkest secret is?
Whoa. I got a lot of dark secrets. I'm a dark guy, I'm ruthless. That's not a secret. I'm getting to that. I take no prisoners. Ayn Rand. You know what I mean? As far as divulging one specific, what's the word I'm looking? Scandal. I wouldn't do that. No way.
Well, if you don't mind me asking,
By the way, good call on this grapefruit beer.
okay. What would you say if I was to ask you?
Why you gotta play me like that?
Play you like what?
Okay, now you're gonna play yourself like dumb, but what were you saying?
Okay, if I was to ask you what song would describe the loss of your virginity, what song would you choose?
Speaking of virginity, dang. Dang, dude. That's a hard one. There are so many things involved in losing my virginity. So many feelings and just so many actual events. Like, when I lost my virginity, I was in a basement, and the whole time I was doing this, my friend was knocking on the door telling me we had to leave. And I guess I would say almost knocking on heaven's door, but then that seems like too much of a vaginal reference to really be accurate to who was knocking, because it was another person knocking when I was in the room. But I guess in a way I was in heaven and he was knocking on the door. And I had a gun.
Well, that's I don't know how to respond to that at all. So, knocking on heaven's door. So, a Guns N' Roses tune would probably best describe it. Not
Bob Dylan, actually, I think originally. Robert Zimmerman.
okay. Would you say that you had an audience your first time?
Doing what? Sex?
Sex, yeah.
I mean, that depends on your religion, I guess.
Okay, just to take things to, I don't know, a different direction. Have you ever had to poop while on stage?
I have to poop right now.
Okay. I guess the final question would be, what do you plan to do? Like, just with the rest of your life?
How about this? How about I ask the final questions?
Okay.
Because of how much that there, you know what I mean? Like when there is, unless, do you know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't, because when it's different, what do you think? But you know what I mean? Because when it's the other thing? If it was like instead of the way that things, you know what I mean? When they're like as it is applicable in various, like, you know what I mean? But like, what about when the situation has like another thing that's the same? You know what I mean? Like, what about then? What do you think about that? Before you answer that, what is that? But what were you saying?
And that's been our first edition of Comic Talk here at the Kansas City Improv. Thanks, Jake, for coming on today.
Oh, Brandon, by the way, you were a really great interviewer. You did a really good job.
Anyways, be sure to tune in to our next edition with
That guy is, may I say, the most beautiful feat in comedy.
It's so fucking hard to keep a straight face.
It's because it's true.
I did it.